Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance. What do you think about that, huh? Absolutely adorable. So I want to talk about a little bit about the update, but mostly about the companion summoning event that is going on, which I think is a bit of a misnomer, but we'll get there when we get there. First thing I want to talk about is all of these masks, which now have different bonuses based on which mask you're looking at. We've got some that give attack, some that give defense, and people are not sure right now if you have to be wearing the mask. There's been conflicting reports. Some say that it works just fine if it's not on. Some say that it doesn't work if it's not on. If you know more about that, then you should share that with us because we would like to get down to brass tacks. Now, I don't think that any of these outfits come with any stat bonuses, although I have heard people talking about those. I don't think it's the case. I don't think it's going to work. Also, if you happen to have the dead dog as part of your costume with the cat face, it's hilarious, so wear that if you have it. I would go over which masks I think are the best, but it's kind of irrelevant because most people don't have most of the masks. I think basically the highest attack version that you have is probably the best, although if you're not playing the game and you switch back into the one for the taxes, that's probably a good idea too. One more thing before we get into the event, I want to talk about crit and how it has or has not been fixed. Now this is going to take a whole lot of testing, but if we go into anybody's random stat page and we just click into here, we can see that they have their crit rate showing up on their character, which it was not before. Now, the patch notes said that they were fixing the crit rate specifically for the equipment, but my guy doesn't even have equipment on right now because I'm not using this guy. So if I put some equipment on, it should then change his crit to reflect that value, which of course it does. Now, if that means that crit is working in general across the board now, that changes the game considerably, and we need to test it before I go and change everything on my website referring to crit, but it could mean that Eagle-Eyed gets a little bit better as a clan trait, and it could mean that some other characters get a little better, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. We will make that its own thing when we get a little more of a clear picture of what crit is doing. For the Blossoming Festival. Now gather around, kids, because I know that a lot of you are super upset, and I think that the reason that we are super upset, if you watch my last live stream, which was the unprepared YOLO stream, you're going to see that I was not happy with it either. In fact, I was quite upset. The reason that we were all upset is because of expectations and not because this event is bad. So I know that's going to be unpopular and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate, but I actually think that this event is kind of good. I don't think it's what we wanted. I think trying to use this as what we wanted is bad, but the event is good, and I will explain to you why that is. Now, the first thing that's a problem is that this is not a companion summon, okay? This is a gamble. This is a slot machine. I am not summoning for companion parts. I'm summoning hoping that I hit the 11% chance to get companion parts. That is not the same. So that's what a lot of people are upset about, and I think they have every right to be upset about that because it was a failure of communication. Now, I tried to clarify some of these details prior to talking about them, and I was getting so many different views on what was happening that I thought that there was two different events that they were talking about, and I'm still not sure because if we look at the calendar at the end of March, there is a Limit Companion Summon event coming, and this one is called the Companion Gift Exchange. So possibly these are two different events, and possibly the summoning version of the event is coming later. I don't know. I feel like I was getting told about two different events when I look at it in hindsight, and I wasn't sure which one was which or if they were both part of the same thing. Obviously, this is not a limited companion summon, and they should never call it that. I think that's what people are mostly mad about. We wanted to be able to summon to get our dudes, and we can't essentially do that. But you just heard me say that this is a good event, so maybe I should defend that a little bit and tell you why I think this is a good event. For one, we have our 11% chance to get our companion summons, which we get to specifically target towards a companion that we want to get. Now that is really strong, and when you get 90 of these, the next 10 summons that you do has an 18% chance to give you a 5 times token for your companion. It's a little bit of a pity reward system, and if you watch the stream that I referenced earlier, you will see that I did 14,000 diamonds into this event. Show you my value packs here are all sold out on this event, so I went through and I did the thing, and what ended up happening for me is that I got 10 shards for my my Samir companion, which allowed me to finish my Samir companion. Then I got another 7 shards for the Gultung companion. And of course, there is this little gift system for when you spend enough quote-unquote summons, you get extra rewards based on that. I got 6 of those. So in total, I got 23 companion shards for 14,000 diamonds. That's not actually terrible, guys. The other stuff that you get around it is kind of terrible unless you get lucky and you get one of these big legendary diamond boys, but you're probably not going to get that, so don't count on it. The rest of these rewards we can get anywhere in the game. Most of them we can farm for free. We don't care about them. All we want is the companion stuff, so we basically 89% of the time are feeling bad that we didn't get the thing we wanted to get. So that's another reason why people are upset about this event, and I think that it's making people gloss over the value. I don't think that this event is for everybody. Me, I'm happy that I finished my Samir. I wouldn't have been able to do that for months, and I love using the male Samir. So getting that value for me, which I probably had at around 7,000 or 8,000 diamonds spent, I think that that was worth it. And I could have just stopped there, but we were streaming and people made me make bad decisions. So it is what it is. So I think that if you are, let's say, trying to finish this female Devala, I know she's not in there. If you only have 27 of 60 shards, this is a bad event for you to try to finish that person on. And you should go into it knowing that this is a bad event for you to try to finish that person on. I spent 14,000 diamonds, I got 23 shards, and honestly, I was pretty lucky with some of the shards that I got. In more than one occasion, I got multiple single shard pulls in my summons. I did not ever get a 5x shard, so some people could be way luckier than I have been. When the Circle of Love bonus was active, I did get one 5x shard, but then those are 18% chance to get, so that's not that weird that I got 1 out of 10. In fact, it's kind of weird that I didn't get 2. So if you're trying to finish half of your thing and you're ready to spend 15,000 diamonds on it, then you're gambling. You might not get there. You might get lucky. You might be happy. I don't think this is what that event is for. I think this event is for people who are at 45 or 50 of their companion shards and they just need to finish somebody off. I've heard a lot of people saying that they spent 5,000 diamonds and they finished off the last 5 shards. If you are one of those people, you got a smoking deal, my friend, because there's no way that you were going to do that with diamonds any other way in the game unless you got super lucky on roulette, and then your champion would have had to been lucky enough to come around and be available on that anyway. I don't think that would have been worth waiting for and skipping this event to do. So I think if you're close, within 10 shards, and you have the diamonds, you should finish your companion. This is a good event for finishing your companion that way. If you want to just have every companion in the game and you're starting fresh, this ain't it, buddy. This is not the event for you. And yeah, that's probably why you're upset already, because you were hoping for that event to come and this ain't it. So don't poop on the event just because it's not what you expected, okay? That's partially my fault and other creators' faults, and especially Goat Games' team of giving us the news. It's their fault for maybe getting your hopes up and leading your expectations into a place where you got disappointed. If we would have all managed our expectations on this one, I think we'd be really happy with the event, and we will be happy to see it again when we know it's coming. So hopefully I don't get too much hate for quote unquote defending this event. I'm saying they did it wrong, but I'm saying still the good things exist. I hope that comes across. And I hope that what I've said to you lets you decide whether it's worth it for you to spend your diamonds on the event or not. I don't think anybody should spend money on it. I don't think the money is really worth it, but it's your money, you know? Maybe you have more money than I do, and so therefore you're willing to throw more of it away for that little bit of something. Now I want to talk about the Festival Battle Pass, because this is getting largely overlooked in the discussion, and I think it's because of all of the disappointment from the mismanaged expectations and mostly horrible communication from Goat Games. This Battle Pass is basically the first Battle Pass that I like. I actually like this Battle Pass. I think it's got good stuff. I think it's got good value. I wish that they would still just get away from these 2-star tokens and just give us 3-star tokens. However, you are getting a whole Messerschmitts of gold, and that's always good. And a lot of these other rewards are nice as well. Is it worth $30? Not to me. That's why it's not purchased for me. But I do think for some people it's worth it, and I do think that it's a good value. It should be no more than $20. In fact, I think every Battle Pass that's ever existed should be a maximum of $10. Even if it is giving us all of this value, it's supposed to be for an event. Why don't you let us celebrate with a smoking deal so we can be happy with you instead of upset that you want $30 and every event turns into a thing where you're just trying to get us to spend. If you want to do all the stuff that helps us to spend so you make more money, that's great. But every now and then, throw people a bone that everybody can get in on, even the light spenders, and then they'll be happy with you. If you made this $10, almost everybody would buy it. Unless they were strictly against spending money on a mobile game, they would probably buy this pack because it would be worth it. And you would sell so many more, and you'd have so many more people invested in your game. And the more invested they get in your game, the more likely they are to continue to invest in your game. So there's a little business strategy 101 for you, Goat Games. I hope you take me up on that. $29.99 is too much, but this battle pass is probably the best one they've come out with so far, in my opinion. The 7-day quests are nice, like these rewards, kind of who cares, but at least it's something to do that's exciting and new. You know, it's something to chase after, and I like ticking the boxes. Haven't done it yet because I've been super busy, but I do like doing that, and I like that they keep adding them, even though the rewards are kind of so-so. Before I get too carried away, I do want to mention something about the Battle Pass, and again, I'm going to be defending Goat Games, even though I want you guys to realize that in between all of these nice things that I'm saying, I am saying that Goat Games failed horribly here in terms of communication, and I hope that you understand that. But while they failed horribly at communication here, what they did do is they started fixing things. For instance, I just clicked that one time and all 49 of my hearts went into it. We have been asking for that for a while. And these are the types of quality of life improvements that they have promised to make in this year and that they are already delivering on in this year. There's more to come, and I think that the interrogation system might see a little bit of a rework to some degree, and possibly even some other things in the game that we've all been complaining about. Would love to see the auto battle button on Spire of Champions, but we'll see. But it's important, guys, if we're going to complain hard, we got to give credit where credit's due, otherwise we're just being unfair. And I know you don't want to be like that, do you? In our 7-day login, we get 6 stones and we get one of our chests here. I'm assuming that this chest is one of the ones where you get to pick one of the limited companions, but it's only one, so it's not really that much of a big deal. I do wish, actually, and maybe this is greedy, I wish that they just gave us 10 stones for this. Probably a little greedy on me. Free stones is nice, but 10 stones is better than 6. Now, the last thing that I have to say about the companion gift exchange event, when you get your extra bonuses for the different tiers of summoning a certain amount of times, I think it's a good idea to save them until you need them. You have no reason to be using these yet. So I have 6 of these just chilling. If I end up getting 6 away from the Gultung, which is the one that I want the most next, I will be using them to finish that companion. Now, I could just use them right now, and then I'm just that much closer to that one, but what if my plans change? What if Gultung never comes back, you know? What if I just don't have that opportunity? There's no reason to make that decision now, so I don't think you should either, unless it is going to complete a companion for you. That's when you should be using those. I hope that mostly covers everything that's been going on, and I hope you understand what I'm saying about this event of the companion gift exchange. I hope you can see the value in it, because you should be happy that it's available, and we should be unhappy that the companion summon that we do want is not here yet. Hopefully they will get to that point. We should be happy we've at least got something, and I don't think you should spend on it because, to be honest with you, they didn't provide what we wanted, and so we shouldn't spend on it because it's not what we wanted. If you want us to pay, then give us what we want and we will pay. And that's the system that if we all held true to, then they would instantly fix all this stuff because they're a business and they need to make money. So if anything that I've said here today has inspired you to make a good choice or inspired you to stray away from a bad choice, then go ahead and hit me with that like button. I sure would appreciate it. For now, I want to thank you for watching. I have been Rage Panda 1, and I will see you in the next one.